This week in VCT, Rostermania has officially started, and my god, do we have a lot. The bleed situation continues to boil over, and there are some very good rumors actually that has been circling around. So let's first start off with the rumor mill, and first start with Crew Mazzino, thanks to Alejandro. Yeah, I mean it. What? Okay, where could Mazzino go if it wasn't Leviathan? Like. He could easily go to like Furia or Loud or MIBR, but I think Career might be his best option. That also means it'll be a full Chilean roster as well, I believe. So at least there'll be some Latin, some good Latin stuff, unlike Leviathan, where it looks like they're just gonna go fully American. So, but I think it's just, in my opinion, I think it's a good roster change for Crew Esports to get Mazzino in. I think he'll be replacing Heat, I believe. So I still a very, very good change. I'm very excited to see how Crew Esports goes next year in 2025. BBL esports are looking very, very good. The rumor has from Alejandro that Profek and Yampi will be joining this team. Yampi, kind of no introduction. Used to play for Team Liquid, and he has been there since the very beginning. So he has been with Team Liquid for a while now. As for Profek, he used to play for Go Next Esports, obviously like the team that played in the Ascension tournament for EMEA this year, and he's also a very, very good player. I'm glad that these Go Next players are being looked at as well because they deserve to be in Tier 1, I believe. There's a lot of good players in that team, and Profek is definitely one of them. I think I talked about him as well a bit in my Ascension uh, segments, I should say, in this episode. Well, not this episode, but a couple episodes before. So I've talked about Profek before. I think he's a very, very good player, and with this roster that BBO is cooking up, I haven't seen the entirety, but I've seen it with a couple of spreadsheets. Whew, BBO looking very, very good. Koya also looking good with the current roster. Currently, the rumor, thanks to Purist and Alejandro, that Soulcast and Filu will be joining this team. Soulcast, I'm a bit surprised about, I'll be honest. I thought Soulcast, he was going to stay with Apex for next year, but apparently not. So that's a bit of a surprise there, but I think it's a good change. Koi were, how do I put this lightly? Not good. I mean, kickoff was very, very good for them, but I mean, in later stages, it was not good for them. As for Filu, this is a very pleasant surprise. Filu, pretty sure used to play for Zaire in the Italian region, I believe, which is now going to be defunct because now that Italian region is now going to be with the Spanish region, which is a bit disappointing there, but either way, that's okay. But I think this is a great change. I mean, you're taking a veteran player of Soulcast with a young player, Filu, who could definitely impress. So I think this is going to be a good change and a good atmosphere as well for Koi, unlike 2 years ago or something, where there was a bit of conflict between Shados and Starzo, I believe. Another one from Alejandro, that being Gentlemate's Click. He is a German player who I can't remember what team he used to play in. It might be the Dash region, maybe it was another region. I'm not too sure, but I saw from Bo, he was very, very excited when this rumor was leaked. And to be fair, that's fair. I mean, I guess the first German player we saw in VCT was Harmy, who was subbing in, I'm pretty sure, for Nats or Redgar. I can't remember who he was subbing in for, but it was like 2023, I believe. So he was subbing in for someone there. It might have been safe. I can't remember. But either way, it's still great to see a German player in. I mean, you could definitely say that Tex is also German, but I'm not too sure what if he would rather be American or German. Not too sure, but Click, he'll be, I guess, the first fully German player to be in a full-time contract, unlike Harmy, where he was just a sub. Navi are also looking really good as well, thanks to Purist, and it is Navi, Ruxic, and Koala Noob. Koala Noob, Koala Noob kind of surprised me, I'll be honest. I was literally Koala Noob, used to play for M80. That's pretty easy there. Came second to 2Game Esports, and apparently as well, there was some stuff about 2Game might maybe not be eligible, but I'm not too sure how that's going to go. As for Ruxic, I don't know anything about this player. Obviously, he is Turkish. I think he used to play for the Turkish, obviously in the Turkish scene, maybe for S2G, maybe. I think, or maybe it was Eternal Fire. I can't remember which team it was, but it was one of those like but it was one of like the I guess I can say like a midfield at best Turkish team, I believe, but obviously I could be wrong. But with this roster right now, I think what we know, what we now soon will know, Angel and Shao will be still with the team. Hero will be potentially be joining, not Durka, but we will be talking about him pretty soon. And now Ruxak and Kuala Lanubin, including Happy as a coach. This is a very, very good roster. I mean, it is very, very, very different to what they have had in the past. So I think this is going to be a very exciting team to watch. Team Liquid are making some very interesting changes thanks to Alejandro. It is Team Liquid Patty and Camo. And let's just say there were quite a lot of praises for Patty, but not so much with Camo. Patty was obviously the super sub for Team Heretics, and he was very, very impressive in their Shanghai run. I'm happy that he's getting a spot. As for Camo, he hasn't really done much in Koi. He wasn't that impressive. I mean, he definitely had some moments, but he wasn't that really impressive. And there was some stuff as well that got released that he is a bit of a homophobic, and I'm pretty sure said the N-word multiple times as well, according to his ex-girlfriend. I'll try to find out where that is, but I'll leave a link to it down in the description below if I can try and find it, hopefully, just to prove my point. So yeah, I mean, there were quite a lot of exciting people for Patatech. As for Camo, a lot of people were like, why are you signing this guy? He's had a reputation of being a not so good person. So it's a weird change, and also that I think Keiko, he's still gonna be in the team, I believe. So what role is Camero's gonna play? Because both of them play duelist. What are they gonna do with that? So it's weird changes, but we'll see if Team Liquid can figure those out. Another one now from Alejandro, and it is Team Vitality Durka. I mean, having Safe, Trex, Durka, Less in the same lineup. Oh boy. I think Kicks might be also joining in team as well, which is absolutely beautiful. Wow. I mean, I'm saying Team Vitality are going to be extremely competitive. I mean, you have two two duelist players of Durka and Safe. I think the rumor is that Safe will be the IGL, and I think he's going to move over. I think he's going to move over to the controller role, I believe. Obviously, I could easily be wrong. Trex, who was maybe the most consistent player last year. Les, who kinda needs no introduction. Won champions with allowed in 2022. And Kix, who is a promising young player who was pretty impressive last year as well. So this is great. I mean, I hope that Vitality are competitive. If they don't make it to any international event at least, I think that is a very disappointing season for them. Moving now to the Pacific region, first start off with DRX, thanks to Tanmei, and it is DRX Leviathan. Now, I'll be honest to say, I don't know anything about Leviathan other than he's Korean, so that's all I know. I mean, DRX, I've already announced 2 players, I believe, which we will be getting into. It looks like Leviathan is another young player that DRX is taking a chance of. I'm not too sure if he's part of the DRX Academy team or if he was a part of another team in the Korean Challenger scene. I'm not too sure, but I mean, it looks like that DRX are now getting some young crop of talent coming up, so we'll see how that goes. And the final rumor is another one from Tanmei, and it is T1 Buzz. Jesus Christ, T1 are looking very, very competitive. Now you might maybe see this news, or maybe there's this roster change maybe after I post this video, maybe considering that T1 they've already announced 2 players, which we will be getting into pretty soon. But T1 Buzz is likely the final player on this roster. It looks like as well that Carpe will be going to the substitute role. Might be as well helping out in the coaching staff as well, but they've already signed quite a few coaches. But we'll see. I mean, Buzz, he's a phenomenal player. He will be replacing Sire player, I believe, as well. So, and he's now as well going to be with Stacks once again. They have a phenomenal core roster, so this T1 team might also be very, very competitive. So, news throughout the week, or maybe I should just call it as the Bleed situation. because the Bleed situation has absolutely boiled over. I mean, firstly, it was thanks to Bleed's CS2 head coach speaking out on the situation. With the in-game name of Cassad, I believe, he posted onto Twitter saying this. Due to the latest news and development inside the Bleed organization, we have decided to take things publicly. After months of attempting to resolve our internal issues privately, we feel compelled to share what has transpired and is still ongoing. Bleed's upper management team has constantly ignored our concerns, leaving us no choice but to go public and cut all ties with them. From the outset, we grappled with delayed salary up to 4 months at the time, buyout, boot camps, and other payments. For reference, most of the players got their first salary in April, even though they signed contracts in December. Before CQ for RMR Bootcamp was organized and paid 50% by CASAT and the other 50% by the players, other organizations have confirmed that they have failed to pay buyouts for several players and still not paid to this day, threatening them with legal action and going public with the information if they don't pay. And about 60% of tournament prize money is still outstanding. Several times during the last 4 to 5 months, the team refused to pay officials and practice weeks at a time until some of the payments were made. Multiple players from other divisions, Dota 2, Valorant, and R6, reached out to us with similar concerns, not to mention employees regularly giving notice about breaches of contract and delayed salaries. Reputation got so damaged that players refused to even consider joining Bleed. Knowing all these things, and relationships got broken to the point that all people were thinking about leaving ASAP. These financial uncertainties have created significant stress, impacting our preparation, motivation, and performance. It's crucial to highlight that even in 2024, suppose Tier 1 esports organizations can struggle with basic obligations. We're utterly flabbergasted by the lack of communication from Bleed's top management. They repeatedly lied about payments, made empty promises, and kept us hoping things would get better. Most of the time, we've been completely ignored by management, radio silence on their end. We're currently consulting with our legal team to determine our next steps and move things forward. We plan to search for a new organization that can offer us stability and meet the essential requirements for effectively managing a team. On top of everything, CEO has disappeared from the face of the earth and nobody can find him. We will participate in the next 2 tournaments that have been the RAS Regional Champions and the Thunder Pick World Championship 2024 under the name Unpaid. But oh no, it does not end there. A tweet from Purist said under a Twitter, according to a former Bleed employee, staff members were paid via cash and cryptocurrency after salaries were delayed for months on end. I mean, that's definitely one way to, pay people, but at the same time, it's still a bit shady that, yeah, delayed payments, delayed salaries as well, up to 4 to 5 months. It's a bit of a worry, I'll be honest. Later on, there was an article that was posted by Tanmay after further digging into the Bleed esports situation, that there was actually quite a lot of stuff happening with the CEO of the team. In 2021, Bleed Esports entered a 2-year partnership with the Singaporean premium water dispenser company Hydroflux. However, both company CEOs were involved in several incidents that ended up in Singaporean courts. The first one on August 2nd, 2022, 34-year-old Lincoln Lim Jun Hyung, the CEO of Hydroflux, was charged with illegally breaking into his ex-girlfriend's house at 1:30 in the morning on February 20th, 2021. He was accused of causing a disturbance and assaulting a male resident, leading to the man's left thumb being fractured. On September 4th, 2022, around 2:25 in the morning, both Mervyn, who is the CEO of Blade Esports, and Lincoln were allegedly involved in a physical altercation with a 23-year-old woman at the Marquee nightclub in Singapore. The woman sustained injuries to her eyes, along with bruises on her left arm and right shoulder. Additionally, records from Singapore's Accounting and Corporate Regulatory Authority, the ACRA, show that Bleed Esports was deregistered in November 2023, meaning it has not been a legal entity for nearly a year. This could indicate non-compliance with legal requirements or prolonged inactivity. Despite this, no one seemed to notice that Bleed Esports had ceased to exist as a company, yet it continued to participate in major events. Fortunately, many of its players have since spoken out and are preparing to leave. Meanwhile, the CEO of BLD Esports, Mervyn Go and Wei, has a court hearing scheduled for October 21st, and adding to the list of legal troubles surrounding the organization. So yeah, it's still a very, very messy situation. We'll see what happens in the court hearing, obviously, with the Bleed CEO. But I'm going to leave everything down in the description below so you can read it for yourself. I'm also going to leave Dextero's article as well in the description, just so obviously you can read what has transpired as well, because that article kind of basically puts everything that I've talked about here into one article. So if you can't be bothered to go to all of those like tweets and other stuff that I've linked down, you could just go to you could just go to Dexter's article and just read it from there. But yeah, a very, very messy situation. Now, moving on to Rostermania. This is now a new topic which I will be talking about because I figured that news throughout the week, it was a bit too long, and most of them are just roster changes, so let's just put them all into one umbrella. And the first Rostermania we'll talk about is Xander. He has now officially joined 100 Thieves. This is a good change, I'll be honest. I mean, Xander, he's maybe one of the best up-and-coming controller players from the Americas region. Well, I should say from North America, I should say. So I'm very excited to see how this goes. I mean, I think everyone else was saying, like, EU is still saying, Boostio as well, Asuna, Cryocells, everyone is still saying, so at least that's obviously a good sign that everyone is still saying. And with Xander as well in the lineup, I think this 100 Thieves team might do some good things in 2025. Cloud9 have also been very, very busy. Vanity has first left as well, including Rooney, who has announced his retirement. And joining the team are Rossi and Vic. Now, I don't think Vic was rumored to be joining Cloud9. That was a bit of a surprise to me, but obviously that's always a good thing. I'll be honest, when I get surprised about things. Rossi, he was rumored for quite a while now. I talked about him pretty sure 2 episodes ago, so that's no surprise there. But for Vic joining the team, I think this is great. He's formerly from VoiceX Shopify, and I mean, it's a great. I'll be honest, I quite like this change. I'm not too sure who's gonna be taking the IGL role since that Vandy has now left. Is it Rossi? Is Rossi gonna be taking the IGL role? Is it maybe Zeppa? I don't know who's taking it. I think maybe Rossi. I'm not too sure. I haven't been told or anything really about who's taking the IGL role in Cloud9. But yeah, well, firstly, let's talk about Vanty. I mean, where could he really go? I'm not too sure. Like he could maybe go back down to tier 1, or sorry, tier 2, or he could maybe be a coach. I mean, I think he'll be a great coach in my opinion. But not too sure what he's going to do. As for Rooney, obviously he has announced his retirement. I do wish him the best on his retirement and stuff. Guess he might be doing some content creation, which is fair. I'll be honest, that's maybe the best way, I'll be honest, to make money in these days now. Because you can't, like, I'm sorry, you cannot go pro and stay there and like think you can stay there for at least 10 years or 5 years. You can't. I mean, the money there is not good, and if you join a team like Blade Esports, for example, like we talked about beforehand, yeah, nah, you're not gonna make some any a lot of income. So yeah, that's kind of the only problem there. But either way, I do wish Rooney the very best. Next up is Jogmo. He has now officially joined G2 Esports, replacing Icy. This was also rumored for quite a while now. I think even coming down to last year, I believe. I did talk about this in last week's episode, I believe. So it's no surprise there. But it's good that Jogmo is in. I think this G2 team is going to be very, very competitive. I think at least top 4, in my opinion, in the Americas region. Even though there are quite a lot of teams that will also be very, very competitive, like our next team on our list. But will G2 choke? Will they be good? Not too sure, but we'll find out. Leviathan has also made some roster changes. Mizzino has left the team, and joining them is Demon One. You see what I mean? That Leviathan are looking to go more American. With the rumor that Aspars will be leaving the team, I guess you can maybe put Demon 1 there as the duelist player. But at the same time, I mean, doesn't this kind of defeat the purpose as well for Leviathan being a LATAM team? I mean, seriously? Like, I think the only LATAM player who's going to be staying with the team potentially is King. And even hell, the rumor on the spreadsheets is that Superman will be joining the team. So they're going to go fully American. What are they doing? I mean, I get it. They want to win, which is fair. I mean, you have Demon One and Calm, who's now back together. You have Tex, who is a pretty good player, in my opinion. But I'm sorry, but you have to keep King. I mean, at least have some Latin representation. Um, and he is a very good IGL. I mean, he can calm in English and obviously as well. So I still think that King should stay on the team, but I'm not too sure. Like, it's a weird situation happening with Leviathan if, I mean, if they do go to a fully American roster, then that's not really good for the LATAM, I'll be honest, but we'll see. I'm not too sure. NRG have maybe been the busiest out of any of the teams. Crashies and Tesla HQ have also left, including Dean Demon 1 as well. And joining them is Bonka, Mada, and Verno. Now, Bonka and Mada, I'm pretty sure I talked about them in the rumor as well. I think Verno might be, I'm not too sure. Crashies, where could he go? I generally don't know where he could go, I'll be honest. I mean, quite a lot of these teams have already announced who their their players and stuff, and I don't see Crashies really anywhere, or even Victor, as well. So that's the problem with these two players. I mean, these two players have been in Valorant since the very beginning. Obviously, they've won international events, but where could they go? I mean, I think there's much better alternatives than having Crashies or Victor in your team. I'm not saying that because they're bad, just because there are better young rising players in the scene that theoretically could maybe be better than Crashies and Victor. I don't think this is the end of their Valorant career. I think they might maybe join maybe a tier 2 team maybe, but it's going to be a bit of a struggle for them to join a tier 1 team. SSHQ, just same for him as well, tier 2 team potentially, or he can maybe go to EMEA as well, as he has coached there in the past. As far as what the new additions, Bonka joining the team as a coach, I think this is great. He was a very let's just say very much of a meme player when obviously he was a player for Guild Esports for a bit. But now that he's a coach, he is a respectable coach in the scene. Mada as well and Verno, both pretty young players. Mada used to play for Most X Shopify. Verno used to play for Oxygen, two of the top teams in the Americas region. This is already a good start as well with veteranship, with Finesse, Som, and Ethan guiding these two players. It's going to be a good year, hopefully, for NRG. Sentinels have also made changes as well. Narrate and Bang have also joined the team, and the very surprising acquisition of Redix. I'll be honest, yeah, Narrate and Bang, not surprising. I mean, that was rumored, I think last episode, I'm pretty sure I talked about, or maybe two episodes ago. I mean, it was rumored for quite a long time. I mean, it was kind of well known. But Redix joining the team, that's a bit of a surprise to me. It looks like as well that so Redix, he's not 18, he's 17 as of right now, so I think he'll be 18 pretty soon, I believe. I think they only signed Redix just so there's some pressure on their team to perform well, I'm guessing. And plus, I think Redix, he's a pretty flexible player, no? I think he can basically play most roles. Maybe I'm wrong, obviously. I think he can play like Controller and Duelist, I think. But I think he might be as well willing to play like Sentinel Initiator as well. So I guess you could say Redix is your flex player just in case if any other players are sick or something. So it's a good choice. I quite like Redix. He used to play for Oxford Esports. But obviously the biggest ones were Narrate and Bang joining the team. Narrate, formerly from Carmine Core with a very impressive season there. And Bang used to play for 100 Thieves. Also very impressive there with their run in Shanghai. But kind of missed out on Champs as well in Madrid. But Champs, I mean, just the slightest amount thanks to a tiebreaker, so which kind of sucks for them. But hopefully this team might also perform very, very well. I mean, they already have Zelsa's, John QT, and Zekken, three players which were very, very good this year in 2024. And that adding Narrate and Bang in the lineup, it's gonna be a very, very good roster to look out for. Surprisingly, China has also made some changes. First up, Flexen. He has left Billy Gaming. Now, I have seen in spreadsheets that he's rumored to be going to like Tyloo or something. I can't remember what team it was. Maybe it's Wolves. I can't remember what team he's been rumored to go to, but it is difficult to get rumors, I'll be honest, in the Chinese region, which is why I haven't talked about quite any rumors in Chinese region other than how Dong the TEC, which I don't think is true. Because I mean it's difficult to get leaks there. But Flexen leaving Bilibili Gaming. This is gonna be like this third team he's potentially going to join in 2 years, or 3 years even actually. Sorry, not 3 years. Like I think maybe his fourth team potentially. Because what he used to play for Trace. Did he go to Tyler then to Bilibili Gaming? I can't remember. I think that's how it was. I think he was first in Trace in kickoff. Then he went to Tyler in Stage 1. And then he swapped to Bilibili Gaming in Stage 2. And I always believe they made champs. So this is going to be like the fourth team he's played in VCT China. Potentially. Well, I don't know if it's something about him. Or maybe the organization. But it has to be something about Flexing, I swear to God, if he keeps moving all over the place. Next up from FunPlus Phoenix, it is Guy. He has officially left the team as the team's assistant coach. I think he was actually an alright assistant coach. He was a very pleasant acquisition to the team. He definitely helped. I feel like he definitely contributed to their run in Shanghai. I mean, it's difficult to say in champs considering that they were kind of in the group of death, so that's a bit difficult there. But still, I mean, I think I think Guy. I think he should be, or maybe it's Giwi. I don't know. I don't know what it is. I think he deserves to be in the Chinese region still, even if it's in tier 1 or the barely existing tier 2 scene. But I still think he is a very good coach, and I'll be very surprised if he doesn't join a team. Next up is from JD Gaming, and it is Billy O. He has also left this team. Both coaches are now gone. I mean, Billy O and Alex, both of them are now officially gone. I mean, they are definitely looking to make some changes to the team, which is very much needed. I mean, this team was doubted to be a top 4 team in this year in 2024. They were not even close. I mean, they were close in Stage 2, but like Stage 1 was abysmal. Kickoff was meh. But I mean, it was just not a good showing from either of from this team as a whole. I'll be honest. I mean, everyone was pretty god awful there, except for like maybe like Viva. I think Viva was very impressive there. But changes definitely need to be made, and I'm glad JD Gaming are making those changes. BBL esports have also been pretty busy. A new Turkish player by the name of Luan has officially joined the team, and while Pora has left. Lumen, he is a player from Galatasaray Esports, I believe. Very much of a promising young Turkish player. And we know how cracked young Turkish players are. I mean, hell, look at, like, for example, like Woot, for example, YitaJ, who else, Rians as well. You know, I mean, when you have like a young Turkish player joining your team, they are bound to be very impressive and can destroy anyone. So I'm very excited about that. Pora, he's already found a home actually by the name of S2G Esports in the Turkish scene, which I'm pretty sure he has joined before. So he's going back to his old home before he joined BBL Esports. So there we go then. No surprises here. I'm just going to make this one pretty short. Redguard leaving Giant X. There's no surprise. I mean, we kind of already know that Clado will be the new IGL for this team. I think it was already announced. Redguard, he has been on the inactive list for quite a while, and I think before champs, I believe, or maybe before stage 2. So it's no surprise there. I'm not too sure if he's going to find home, I'll be honest. But I'll be interested. I'll be very interested if he does. Another leaving player, Shin. He has now left Carmine Core. No surprises, I'll be honest as well. I mean, I thought Shin was very impressive compared to last year, where, to be fair, that team in 2023 was an absolute joke of a team. But here, I mean, this team was very impressive, and I thought he was very good in my opinion, and I mean he definitely showed it, especially in the grand final of kickoff. But I mean overall, I mean this season I guess you can say was alright. I mean stage 1-2 was alright. They didn't make it to any other international event, but still a pretty impressive showing though from Shin. I hope he does stay in tier 1. If he doesn't, go back down to tier 2 and do it all over again. Another not surprising acquisition, or I should say departure, is Latex leaving Na'Vi. No surprise, it looks like, I mean, Happy will be joining the team. I think it's definitely going to help this team. Lactix, he was alright, but I didn't really enjoy it, I'll be honest, when he was the new head coach. I mean, to be fair, it was maybe better for someone existing in the team to be the new head coach after Doom Bros left. But still, it was a disappointing showing from Na'Vi as a whole in the team. Hopefully, with his new acquisition of Happy potentially joining the team as a new head coach, this team will be very, very good. Team Vitality have also said goodbye to 3 people, that being Gorilla, T-Mock, and Runner. And fair, I mean, they are already looking to get some new acquisitions. Obviously, Dirk, like I mentioned before, less. The 2 biggest ones, I should say. Faded will be also potentially joining this team formerly from TSM, so that will definitely help this team as well. Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. I mean, I think I think Gorilla and T-Mock might maybe find at home. Runner, I think he's rumored to be joining Giant X. I mean, he's playing for that team, I'm pretty sure. In a off-season tournament, I'm pretty sure, where it's like a mix between the VCT roster or like a metal roster and the GC roster or the GameChangers roster, I should say. So I know he's playing for Giant X there, so I think pretty much confirmed that Runner will be joining Giant X, which is good. I mean, I'm glad that he's been given another chance. Could you say that he was not really? I guess you can say the team didn't really use him properly. You could say that. I mean, he is the duelist for the. I mean, he was mainly a duelist before he joined Vitality, and then all of a sudden he was a Sentinel. What the fuck? I guess you could all say that because Safe was just a better alternative and a better option for Duelist, which is fair as well. But still a bit disappointed there for Runner. But I think if Giant X use Runner properly, I think he will be a very, very good player. Moving now to Pacific, and Pacific has maybe been the most busiest region out of all the regions so far. First off, Boom Esports. Yes, Boom Esports, a team that got promoted thanks to Bleed Esports antics, we'll say. Meow, the coach of the team, has left the team, and including as well the IGL of ZSBW, who is now a restricted free agent. Okay. I don't know why Meow has left the team. I guess they're gonna go for a fully Indonesian roster, which is fair. I mean, I can understand that now because obviously ZSBW, he is not Indonesian, he is Singaporean. So I guess I can understand it, but at the same time, it's like, well, Meow is the reason why they were so competitive and just amazing. I mean, there's a reason why that he has been with his team since, I'm pretty sure, since the very beginning, where the team obviously they've been all pretty good in the Indonesian scene. They made it the champs as well, so I'm flabbergasted, I'll be honest, that they've let go of Meow, but I'm guessing they're gonna look for an Indonesian coach, which is at least a good sign. At least they are promoting some Indonesian talent. I mean, Flip Shooter, he's there. He can maybe join the team. He can rejoin, not Flip. Who is it? Elmi Moore, I believe. Elmi Moore could definitely join the team. I mean, he's been obviously with ROQ. He's been with Onyx Esports. He is Indonesian. He has a very rich history as well in the scene, so he could definitely join the team and maybe help this team out as well. But I'm not too sure who's going to be replacing Meow. DFM have basically as well said goodbye to quite a lot of people as well. Anthem, Medusa, Neff, and Astel have all left the team. No surprises here. We kind of already know what the roster is going to be looking like with May definitely being kept on. CS, I'm not too sure, I'll be honest. CS is such a weird situation there. But I mean, no surprises here. Where could these players go? And even the coach of Astel go back down to Japan potentially, maybe as well to Korea. If you're Medusa, I believe, I'm pretty sure it's Korean. But I think he's been in the Japanese scene for quite a while now. I don't think that's ever going to happen. But still, I mean, it makes sense for DFM to make these changes. And yeah, I mean, I'm not surprised. DRX have also been very busy. Obviously, Buzz, he leaves the team. Foxner and Bane as well are restricted free agents. And joining the team is Hyunmin and Freeing. Now, Hyunmin first. Let's talk about the players who have joined the team. Hyunmin first. He used to play for Crest Gaming, I believe. And I mean, to be fair, I mean, he was, I guess you could say he's a very, very impressive player. I mean, I think he's a Korean American player, I believe, as well. When a rising star in the Korean scene as well. So I think he will definitely be very, very impressive for this team. I mean, that's all I really know. I think he's a duelist as well, so he will be replacing Buzz. I remember I was questioning why Hyunmin was rumored to be joining this team. But I mean, now I know why. It's because Buzz has now left the team now, which is absolutely fair. But yeah, I'm not. But I think he'll be very, very good. I think he's gonna be like Foxy9, for example, where he'll pop off in his first game, and then kind of fall off, I'll be honest, at the very end, but not too sure about that. Freeing, he is maybe one of the most exciting players in, I'll be honest here. I mean, Freeing, he is to play for Bro Adam. I think before that, he was with D+, Plus, I believe. And I mean, he wasn't a well-known in D+. Plus. I mean, I didn't really take notice in D+. Plus. But in Bro Adam, when, they played in the Chinese Ascension tournament, oh my god, Frian is insane on Clove on Lotus. I mean, put him on Clove in Lotus, then he just becomes one of the best players in the lobby or even in the game as well. So put him there and he would just absolutely tear it apart. So that's a great signing there. Buzz leaving the team. We know that he's potentially going to go to T1. That's the rumor there. Fox9 and Bane, I'm a bit surprised. I mean, these two are very, very young players that DRX have basically nurtured and, helped them out as well in their career. Especially Bane, who has been under the DRX banner for quite a while now. I think ever since he was like 17 or 16, I'm not too sure. So with them leaving the team, I'm very surprised about that. I think maybe Fox9 might maybe go to China, I believe. I'm not too sure about Bane, but we'll see where those two teams go, or I should say, those two players go. One of the best teams during the 2024 season is Genji Esports, who had to say goodbye to Lakia, Meteor, and Munchkin. This also surprised me a lot. I mean, I think there was some talks as well that there was some disagreement, but behind the scenes, and these three players were the players who disagreed or something, or there was like a bit of a altercation or something. I'm not too sure, but yeah, those three players that are gone. Meteor he has already found a team which we will be going into pretty soon. I think Munchkin as well tweeted out that he's also found a team, but I haven't heard anything about where Munchkin is going. So I mean, we'll see. Lakia is the only player which I don't know anything about if he's going to be joining the team or not. And it's quite sad because he has been in the scene for a while. He has been a veteran of the Korean scene. I mean, he competed in the first international event in Reykjavik in 2021 for New Turn Gaming. I mean, wow. But yeah, I mean, I'm not too sure where Lakia could go. Most likely down to tier 2. But Meteor and Munchkin, they've already found the home. We know where Meteor's going. Not too sure where Munchkin is going, but we know definitely where Meteor's going, which will be coming up pretty soon. Global Esports have also said goodbye as well to Bankai, Lightning Fast, and Russ. Where could either of them go? I'm not too sure. I think Bankai has also said that he would like as well to be a coach, so he could potentially help out a team if he's a coach, which I think is great. I mean, that would definitely help a team in my opinion. Lightning Fast, go back down to tier 2 in South Asia in my opinion. Russ, I don't know. Russ is such a weird situation. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I generally have no idea where Russ could go. I'll be honest. I mean, you can maybe say tier 2 EMEA, maybe. But I mean, I think he'll be also quite happy as well to compete in South Asia. I don't know. Generally, I have nothing on where he could go. But we'll see if these three players can actually find a home. I hope they do, but we'll find out. RIQ have also been pretty busy. Elmimore has officially left the team, and joining the team is Kush and Warbirds. Warbirds was not rumored. Kush, I'm pretty sure was, but obviously I haven't talked about it because he was obviously he was announced before I made this video. But yeah, I mean, God, Elway Moore leaving the team. That's I mean, I guess you can say it's not really a surprise considering that he was a restricted free agent, so no surprise there. But I mean, Boom Esports is now available. He can definitely now join them. Kush joining the team, a pleasant surprise. I'll be honest. He is a player who used to play for Alter Ego, and he was pretty impressive. He was very good for this for Alter Ego. So yeah, I mean I'm very happy with that with that change. As for Warbird joining the team, I think this is a very interesting change. It looks like that he will be staying in the Pacific region, which I was very surprised about. I thought he was going to go back to Americas, but no, he's staying in the Pacific region, I guess. Joining RRQ, pretty good change in my opinion. I mean, having Ewok and Warbirds in the same team is very good. And this team might also be very competitive as well. I mean, like you have like Flip, you have Zafura, you as well have Jemkin as well, and Munyet. Um, and sorry, not Flip. No, well, either way. And as well as Strela as well. And then having Kush as well, a young player who has been in the scene for I'm pretty sure a bit now for Alter Ego. Pretty good appearance for this team. I'm very excited to see how RQ goes. First time we will be talking about Sin Praza Gaming as Jerry and Soyeon have left the team. My Jerry. Why? Why would he leave the team? I'm so sad. Anyway, jokes aside. Fair. I mean, Soyeon, he was what, the assistant coach, I believe, for this team? Maybe. I think he was. I can't remember right now. But I'm not surprised about Jerry. I mean, Jerry, he was a sub for this team technically. Where if he could I'll be very surprised if he does go back up to 2-1. I'm sorry, I don't know what his playstyle is. I don't know how he plays as well. So I'll be very surprised if he does go back up to tier 1, kind of like a Carpe move. If he goes back down to tier 2, a good choice in my opinion. I think both of these people, I'll be honest, would be going back down to tier 2, both Jerry and Soyeon. So we'll see, but I think Simpress Gaming are pretty happy with their roster. T1, oh boy, have they been as well very busy. Cyplayer and Rossi have now left the team. Obviously, we know where Rossi's going, back down, back to Americas onto Cloud9. Indigo, Chungak, Sylvan, and Meteor have joined the team. So, Cyplayer first, since he has now left the team, we don't know what his future is going to look like. Pretty sad, to be honest. I mean, Sire Player, he was one of the most exploding Korean players in the scene. Obviously, yes, he played for the well, actually, never mind. He played for T1 first when he was named Spider for some stupid reason. And then he went into the Guard, was Sire Player. He made a name for himself as well. He was very impressive there. And then joined back down and rejoined T1. Pretty alright there. Competed in some international events, so pretty good though for side player, but I'm not too sure where he could go because I'll be honest, I can't want him back in tier 1, but I don't think that's going to happen, sadly. As for the newcomers, Indigo, formerly from Nongshim Red Force, a team that has been very competitive in the Korean scene and back down in tier 2. I'm pretty sure they almost made it to Ascension in Split 2, I should say. But obviously that did not happen. Moving now to Chunggak, he used to be a coach, pretty sure, for this team, and then he joined Wolves Esports, pretty sure during like Stage 1 or Stage 2, and now he's back. Weird, very weird timeline there for Chunggak, but I mean, if he's back in T1, I mean, I guess he's I don't know, to be honest. I mean, I guess T1 likes him, or he likes T1, and they both like each other, and he's now back in the team. So, I mean, we'll see how that goes. Sylvan, player who used to play with Genji Esports in the first year of partnership in 2023, was a bit of a letdown, I'll be honest. He wasn't that impressive. And then he joined some Chinese teams, mainly Top Esports, when obviously they were all right there. I think they made it. I shouldn't lead on it. Well, never mind. They did not make it to Ascension for some reason. Don't know why, but they were still very, very impressive there. What was top esports. So and now he's back in tier one, which is pretty impressive there because I quite like Sylvan. I think Sylvan will be pretty impressive, hopefully, and hopefully so he doesn't crash out like he did last year. Meteor though, wow, damn, T1 had the money and they have got Meteor. This is great. A great addition as well for this team. Adding so with Izu, Stacks as well. Stacks and Meteor on the same team. That is something I never thought I would ever think about. And potentially Buzz, who's rumored to be joining this team. I'm sorry, no, like this T1 team should make it to every Ascension event. By just what we're looking at for this roster, this team should go to should qualify to every international event. And the final Rostermania news that being Talon Esports have said goodbye to Paddy Pan, and boy, to be fair, Paddy Pan he joined the team but he never played. So I just want to just quickly talk about Paddy Pan, considering that he has been in the team for yes a while, but he hasn't really officially played for the team. Boy, I think he was a very important aspect of Talon Esports in my opinion. Him and Frost. I mean, yeah, both of them are not high at all, but at the same time, these two have helped this team to even qualify the champs, in my opinion. And this team is maybe one of the few teams that have slowly improved throughout the year, and it paid off for them. They qualified the champs, and it was yes, it wasn't the best showing for them. Yes, they got gripped immediately, but it's still a great start for Talon Esports, and hopefully they can build off on that because I mean it's much needed. I mean they have some so young players. They as well have Frost as well, the coaching staff. I'm not too sure if he's going to stay, but we'll see what other stuff Talon does. And now for the final topic, let's talk about GameChangers for the first time. Let's first off with the LATAM region, and only LATAM, not Latin America North or South, LATAM. Crew Esports, or I should say Crew Blaze, beats out AKV Esports Black to qualify for GameChangers champions for the third year in a row. I mean, they have been dominant, I'll be honest. They have been so good, this team, and that just like Crew Esports, they are the team to beat for LATAM, and they have been very, very impressive, which is fair. I mean, they have been very, very, very good, so fair enough, I'll be honest, for Crew Blaze. I mean, they have showed it. They 3-0 AKV Sports Black as well. The first map was very, very close, but the next two were just not close whatsoever. So I think the best team won, and they're gonna represent LATAM for the third year in a row in Berlin. Moving to EMEA now, and once again, G2 goes and continues to dominate, stand strong in the EMEA region, beating out Giant XGC in the grand final 3-1. G2, Giant XGC, and Falcons Vega will all qualify to GC champs. Mostly first was G2 Gozen, then Giant XGC. Nazar Ignite was third, but Falcons Vega was fourth thanks to points. Fifth through sixth was Valiant GC and Heroic Valkyries. Seventh through eighth, Carmichael GC and Odd One Out. And 9th through 10th was Alternate Attacks Ruby and BBL Queens, who was in champs last year, but here they came basically dead last. Yeah, pretty disappointed there, I'll be honest, for BBL Queens. But elation for G2 goes in Giant XGC and Falcons Vega. I mean, this is the first time that we will be seeing Giant XGC and Falcons Vega on the international stage, which is very, very impressive and very, very exciting. I think Falcons Vega have been very, very good in this in EMEA. Very, very impressive so far. They've been always at the top, so that's no surprise there. Giant X GC, that was a pleasant surprise, I'll be honest. I mean, Giant X have been pretty good, I think, as well in GC. So that's a great sign as well for this team. And G2 goes in. I mean, no surprise. I mean, G2 goes in. They're always at the top of the EMEA ladder. And finally, for Pacific, it was Zipto Esports, I hope I said that correctly, who won against Z Division GC to be the first seed for GC Champs 3-0. Both teams will be in champs representing the Pacific region. I was literally behind those two of Zipto Esports and Z Division GC. And third and fourth include Sisu and Merc Gaming GC. 5th through 6th, Boba and Swag Lord 9000, brilliant Oceania team. And 7th through 8th was Fennel Female and Pure Fictionist. Wow. I mean, I think this well is the first time Z Division GC will be in champs. Normally it would be Fennel, but Fennel here absolutely faltered. They were nowhere. So I guess you can say that was a massive surprise there. But I mean, Z Division, they have always been very competitive, but Fennel have always been very good against them, and like I guess you can say mixed regions. I guess you can say when it's like this, where the Pacific, the Oceania, the South Asian teams, the Korean, the Japanese teams all get together and try and qualify the champs. Zipter Esports, they're basically, you can maybe say they're just the what was the Full Sun Sapphire team, or the X Sun Sapphire team, I should say. It's basically that team, so no surprises there as well. So, but it's still a very, very impressive result, I'll be honest, from those two teams to qualify to champs. And that is really about it for this episode of This Week in VCT. I know this is a very, very long episode. So yeah, obviously I will put timestamps well below, so you can skip to whatever topic you want me to talk about. So now, like, guys, to like, comment, subscribe, it will really help me, especially on this channel. And I'll catch you guys on next time in the next video that I will that I will be making. I hope you guys have a great day, everyone. Catch you guys later in the next one. Goodbye.